Russell, hadn't had to do many of these interviews, but that was poor, wasn't it, from your side?
Yeah, first 45 minutes especially. Game was over, really. I think, listen, we've not been in charge for that long. We've taken over a team in the bottom three, no pre-season, etc. So tonight was a chance. And listen, league minutes, league games have been so important, so valuable for us. We haven't had time to try much, and a few players haven't had the opportunities they would have liked. So tonight was a good opportunity to do that. And I said, that should have been more than a strong enough team to be able to compete, and we saw it as a team to win the game. So it's unfortunate that some haven't taken the opportunity they've been given. It's not easy to come to a pitch in a place like this. It's a tough place against a strong team in League Two. So I understand it's not easy, but at the same time, we can't concede goals like that. We can't not compete in our box in the way that we did in the first 45 minutes. It's not what I've seen or how I've felt about things for the last 3 or 4 weeks, that's for sure. What it does show us is how much work we've still got to do with some individuals and as a team in certain areas, and it also shows that although the form we've been on, we haven't cracked anything, and I've said that before. It's really important. No one's getting carried away themselves. It shows we've got a lot of work to do, and we're learning every game, and tonight's no different. I think the disappointing thing is the nature of the goals and the nature of not just how we competed, but we didn't stick to the stuff we've been doing, and we went a goal down, then 2 goals down, really poor goals, and then the lads went away from what we've been doing, what we worked on, and I said to them at half time, that's the most disappointing bit. I can accept someone not winning a header, etc. You're not going to win every single thing, but don't stop doing what makes us or what's made us a half decent team in the last few weeks, because if you start doing what they're really good at, and they are really good at it, second balls and fighting and turning teams, it's not us, it's not what we do, and we just weren't good enough in the first half. And second half, we were a bit better. They're brave enough to pass the ball on a really poor pitch. We turned them a few times, got a few half chances, but the game was over with that first half performance.
Did some of the performances reinforce what you already knew, or maybe make you realise things you didn't know? Do you understand where I'm coming from as far as going forward?
Yeah, it's really important not to judge people off one performance. We haven't done that at all, and I said that we wouldn't judge anyone on what's gone on before we came in. As I said, we haven't been in that long. So we had an idea. Obviously, I was in the dressing room. I knew what we had here. So I had an idea of, as I said to you, approaching January, where we need to strengthen, what we need to do. So I think now we can start judging people, because we've had 7 or 8 weeks of doing what we're doing. And as I said, it's just disappointing for some of them. They haven't taken an opportunity tonight, and we're learning loads all the time about players individually and us as a team and what we need to work on. And tonight's no different.
And just finally, presumably, it will heighten your desire to strengthen during this January transfer window if you are disappointed with some of those performances.
I don't think it changes too much. It probably reinforces a few things for me. I don't think it changes the urgency or the importance of a few players in certain positions. But listen, I love this group of players and what they've given us. I make no apologies for being really demanding with them. And as I've said to you loads of times, I've praised them so many times about how brave they've been, with the position we're in the league, for what they've done and how they've played recently. But I make no apologies for being really demanding and wanting more, and wanting us to improve and wanting us to grow and learn together. And some people will fall by the wayside with that. I'd like to think all of them at the moment want to be part of it, because they can see what we're creating in terms of our process and our structure and how we want to play. But some will surprise us, as some have already, in terms of their performances, how good they have been, and some will come with us, and others won't, and that's football. It's football, but we can't accept that ones that won't come with us or don't come with us because of a lack of effort or a lack of fight, etc. It'll just be because the vision for the team is a bit different to what they bring, and they maybe just, we don't see them as quite ready to do what we want them to do. So that's where we're out of it. It doesn't change anything. I'm not going to react and go crazy after one bad performance. I think it's really important to be consistent with them because they've given us everything, and it's not for a lack of effort tonight. I'm just really disappointed for them, and was really angry at half time with the manner of the goals we conceded. So we move on, we learn, we'll debrief it, and we'll make sure that we improve going into Saturday for a big game.
I think it's always worth us as reporters giving you the opportunity to send a message to the fans, especially the ones that travelled, because they'll obviously wanted to progress in this competition. You haven't. I just wondered if you had any words for those travelling supporters.
It's unbelievable support to bring that many down. I wasn't expecting that many to come, but I really appreciate it, and I'm just sorry for them that they had to put up the first 45 minutes as we all did. And you know, it's not, as I said, it's not through lack of effort. We haven't got bad characters. It's just one of those nights. It hasn't worked, and we haven't been strong enough when we conceded a goal so early. And that's something I thought we'd changed. I thought we'd improved on, and that's a disappointing thing tonight. So I really appreciate their support. We all do. I mean that. You know, I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart, and hopefully we give them something better to enjoy on Saturday. And I'm sure we'll take a big following there with it not being too far away, and it'll be a big game for us.
As a defender yourself, is it frustrating that the goals have come from set pieces? I mean, there's not an awful lot really that Stuart can do about the second one.
We have to defend as a team, and it's not just defenders. It's just we have to defend as a team, and 2 goals come from people not marking their player in the second phase, and it's something that it can't be acceptable now with the position we're in and what we've been doing, and it takes away completely from everything we're asking them to do in terms of the courage on the ball. The structure, and then we give a goal away like that, and it just changes the whole complexion of the game. And what disappoints me more than that, which by the way makes me angry that we concede such stuff, what disappoints me more than that is the reaction to us conceding a goal. We conceded early and then it looked wobbly again because we actually started quite brightly. So that's a mentality, and I said to them guys in there, to the players, it has to change, and it's not acceptable anymore. I think it's one of the reasons we've been in the position we're in the league, and if we're going to give them a chance to really become a team, and for us to become a team, we can't do that anymore. It's simple as that. It's too easy for teams to do that, and as I said, we've defended brilliantly in the last 3 or 4 games, Oxford, Bristol Rovers, Portsmouth, but then the away games are the ones that we found it tough and challenging, so it's something we need to address and quickly.
What is it, do you think, about away form then that has become an issue?
I think we learnt a lot from Gillingham, and then Southend was a different game, a different challenge, and I think it just needs to be, we're trying to adapt a few things to help us with that, I think, and then it comes down to having personnel to be able to change system and stuff like that. So we're working on that, as I said, and but I've got complete confidence and complete belief in these boys, despite tonight and the disappointment of the goals. I've got complete belief and conviction in what we're doing and the group, and everyone can see that, the feeling, the form we've been in the league, and that needs to make sure we do that again on Saturday. We rested a lot of bodies tonight, not because we underestimated the opposition or didn't respect the competition, but as I said to you guys just then, the league is so important, it's so valuable, the minutes in there, and some people took a battering over Christmas physically, so we had to do it, and as I said, I'm just disappointed for the lads that come in that we didn't quite take the opportunity that we were presented with tonight.
Was it a temptation to make your 3 changes at half time and change things immediately?
Yeah, I spoke about it, but I think it would have just been emotional. I don't think it would have helped the team, especially going into Saturday, because it had to be a consideration. At 3-0 down, the game's really difficult to go back in, and so Jordan Houghton was an important one. I think we need to try and keep him fresh. So yeah, and let's be honest, if we're talking about first 45 minutes, I then can't take people off and say, well, you've had an opportunity, it's not right. So I wanted to see how they reacted in the second half, the mentality they showed, the strength they showed, and they were better. We were better in the second half, and so I gave them credit for that, but unfortunately the first half overrides that, and the disappointment from that overrides the second half completely, really.